Senior ANC leaders implicated in state capture prompted President Cyril Ramaphosa to describe the governing party as accused number one.
Currently, we are not accused of anything. We are rebuilding. The state capture.
Actually, I don't think there's anybody who wants to listen to Paul Mashatile talking that they are not accused, they are busy building. In fact, Ramaphosa is 100% right that ANC is accused number one in the country. And, there's enough evidence to sustain that. I don't know what Paul Mashatile is talking about. He should be keeping quiet, if you ask me. But nonetheless, I just want to make this point. In fact, in recent times, you may have seen with these commissions of inquiry, whereby you see that there is this unholy alliance, unholy relationship between politics and business and criminals and all that. And I just want to make the example of what is being said in the commission, and to show the evidence that this thing is actually true. There's so many examples. Some of them we may have even forgotten about it. Who remembers this one?
Mapisa-Nqakula faces 12 counts of corruption and 1 count of money laundering. The charges stem from allegations that she was paid millions in bribes by a defense force contractor.
Now, I don't think you're going to find a lot of people feeling sorry for the former defense minister, Nosiviwe Mapisa-Nqakula, the former speaker of parliament, and somebody who went on and made poor choices. In fact, this is the corruption at its core. In that, if you look at her case, what she's in court for, there is this lady called Nomvula. She was an air hostess, and somehow she found a way to be a contractor in the army, a logistics contractor, and she was delivering material and things out for South African Defence Force out in Burundi and other African countries. So she used to score these huge contracts and all that. And Mapisa-Nqakula approached her and says, hey, you got to give me some. You can't be taking all this money. I think at some point she got 100 million rand project, a contract, and the other time it was about 80 million and others. And Mapisa-Nqakula was asking for 150,000, 300,000. All of these things were done. They were paid to her in cash, just to show this unholy relationship that business has got with politics. Our politicians are corrupt. Some business people, they are corrupt as well. To secure these contracts, they needed to bribe somebody, as it were. Now she's testifying against the minister or the former minister, and she's looking at jail time, old as she is. But I don't think there's a lot of people who have sympathy for her for what she did, as it were. So yeah, there you have it. So let's check out this
relationship between Shaik and Zuma. This related to several payments that were made to Zuma. Shaik argued they were loans. The court found it questionable that these so-called loans would be given to someone who would not be able to pay them back.
Even if these could be regarded as loans, despite all the evidence to the contrary, the basis on which they were made would, in our view, unarguably amount to, and I quote, a benefit, unquote, within the meaning of the word in the Corruption Act. These loans were such that there was no date for repayment, and until May 1999, no interest was charged, no security was asked, and all this made available to a borrower with a bad record of default and repayment.
There was that one, where Shabir Shaik was convicted for corruption, for bribing Jacob Zuma. Zuma was still then a member of the ANC. But I'm just showing this one as well to show that this thing of business people and having that close relationship with their politicians, and obviously it goes way back and all that. This is what really brought Zuma down, his relationship with this business person named Shabir Shaik, and who was giving Zuma money. Unfortunately, because Zuma wasn't able to manage his own money and all that, he had a lot of debts, he couldn't support his children and all these things. And Shabir Shaik was paying stuff for him, basically taking care of him. And Shabir Shaik claimed this was a loan, and there was no structure that Jacob Zuma was going to pay this back and all of that. The whole idea was that he needed the influence of Jacob Zuma in order for him to be able to secure some deals, contracts. particularly in the arms deal case and all that. And we know what happened eventually to Shabir Shaik. And that led to Zuma's demise, his political career, even though he made a comeback later on. How about this particular one?
The payment was to Kepi Construction.
The payment reflected here is a payment to Diane stroke Anoj Singh. What would that be about?
Chair, again, I've got absolutely no idea as I'm sitting here.
Linda and Kobo,
This is against a friend of mine.
also someone involved in the administration in Gauteng Housing and Kodwa.
Used to be.
The payment of 371,553 rand to Paul Mashatile, what is that about?
That's a payment that was made directly to the ANC.
Pinky Kekana, who is she?
She's someone that I consider a sister, that I'm close with. She's currently in government as of last year, I think, with the new administration.
Yes, she's a deputy minister.
She's a deputy minister, yeah.
Mr. Nkesi?
He's a minister in the current administration.
Zizi Kodwa?
Zizi is a friend that I've known for a number of years, and I've made payments to him in his personal capacity before he joined government.
Now, that's controversial. Notorious business person, Tendepreneur, named Edwin Sodi. And for some reason, and we know what the reason is, he's able to secure contracts in Gauteng and in other provinces as well. In the Free State, the Bestos tender, I think it was 250 something million. The Hamaskar water project that he didn't finish, it was over 200 or 300 million, and other projects. But look at the point I'm trying to make, that this connection with politicians and business, it's so crazy and appalling. Look at the people that this man has just been dishing out money to. No one is unable to finish projects. Zizi Kodwa, Deputy President Paul Mashatile, Tulas Nesi, who was a minister, Zizi Kodwa, Pinky Kekana, Deputy Minister, like all these people, like, is this guy Father Christmas? You know, that he just been dishing out money, doesn't want anything from anybody else. You know what I mean? So I'm just trying to make this point of this unholy connection, unholy relationship between business and the ANC politicians. And this has been the modus operandi of the ANC, you know, like, hey, we'll help you get these contracts. Once you get the contract, you're going to start giving us money. So they come knocking and say, hey, now that you got this deal, hey, you better be taking care of us and all that. Even though these people are employed, they are ministers, they're earning crazy amount of monies a year. They get all these packs, but they still want more. So, yeah, let's check out this one. This one is quite recent.
Cele, however, was very candid about his communication with Matlala, saying they were not friends, but acquaintances. He did not hide the fact that he had spent time at Matlala's penthouse in Pretoria.
It's because you're a free piece. And I'm not working, I'm a pensioner. So here is it's a nice place, by the way. It's a free piece, so I sleep. I'm not in government. I'm not going to declare. I guess if I were in government, I would have gone and declared. But now I sleep, I wake up, I go home.
So there you have it. This one I think most of us have seen in recent times. Here is a minister, or former minister, former commissioner, not even embarrassed that he's taking a freebie from a well-known criminal, somebody who defrauded Tembisa Hospital. He was part of that syndicate that extracted something like 2 billion out of Tembisa. I think about how many people failed to receive services in Tembisa. How many people perhaps have died? And he has seen this in the news, but he still continued to meet with this person. And when this person offered him a free accommodation and all that, he accepted it. And we know that there's nothing in the world as a free lunch. There's something that this known criminal, that is Matlala, that he needs from somebody like Bheki, even though he knows Bheki he might not be a minister or a commissioner anymore. But there isn't an ounce of values morality. You know what I mean? And this is probably something that he would have done even if he was still a minister, you know, that he will take a freebie from somebody like that. So you can see the type of people that were being led by in South Africa, particularly by the ANC government, the likes of Bheki. That's why perhaps even crime never even come down, because you have this type of people in the leadership of the country. Anyway, let's check out this last one.
In respect of whose property was this project undertaken?
This property belonged to Nomvula Mokonyane.
And when was this project undertaken?
I was contacted in 2013 by Gavin Watson. He instructed me to meet him and Angela Grizi at the premises of Nomvula Mokonyane.
And did you meet Mr. Gavin Watson and Mr. Agrizi at the property of Ms. Nomvula Mokonyane?
I did, Chair. Chair, basically what Gavin instructed me to do was he instructed me to look at the electric fence, the CCTV system, the generator, the distribution board, because they were having problems with things tripping, the pool pump, the swimming pool, which was going green all the time, which was due to the pool pump, and we had to install a distribution board there. We also had to do a garden cleanup there.
Paragraph 29 to 30 of your statement, you speak of another project. In respect of whose property was this special project undertaken?
This property belonged to, well, the three properties belonged to Gwede Mantashe.
And how do you know that the property belonged to Mr. Gwede Mantashe?
Because it was said to me by Papale Shabani, one of the directors at African Global.
And what was Mr. Papale Shabani's involvement?
I'm not sure what his involvement is there. I was just instructed to go and do 3 residences of Mr. Gwede Mantashe.
And you were so instructed by Mr. Papale Shabani?
It was instruction from Papale Shabani, yes.
You've just stated that there were 3 properties.
That is correct, Chair.
Can you recall the areas?
The one area was in Boksburg in 29.1. 29.2 was in Elliot, Eastern Cape. It was a farm. And 29.3, it was Cele in the
So
Eastern
if
Cape.
you didn't remember, that one was, that was for the Zondo Commission. That one was with regard to Bosasa, how Bosasa was bankrolling ANC leaders, Dudu Myeni, Minister Gwede Mantashe, Nomvula Mokonyane. They were getting the security upgrades for free. Obviously, we know that Bosasa was scoring these huge contracts, tenders out in the correctional services and other places. So yeah, Gavin Watson eventually, he apparently died because of suicide and all that. But he was bankrolling ANC leaders. And this was a payback, because he secured these multi-million rand projects, if not billions of rands. But nonetheless, just as a conclusion, that this unholy alliance between businesses, tenderpreneurs, with the ANC, with government, is something that we need to shun. It's something that we need to expose, as it were, and that. You know, like when you see people securing big contracts and winning tenders all the time and things like that, and we thinking that people, they've done the fair and square, but we know definitely that this was done. It was an underhand thing, and that people are paying. No wonder projects are not being finished. Somebody gets a tender for a road or something like that, or to build a hospital, a school, and the school never finishes because this person has gotten this tender somehow. But most importantly, when he gets paid, he needs to go and bankroll ANC leaders, most of them who are ministers, who are in high-paying jobs, but they still want more. Anyway, thanks for tuning in, and hope to see you guys on the next video. If you be so kind and like and share the video, and let's keep on growing this community. Thanks again for tuning in. Bye-bye.